Good morning everyone. Myself Dr. Vidyut Das in the Department of Information Technology in the Haldia Institute of Technology, Haldia. Today I discuss about the data structure. What is the overview of the data structure? Because this is the introductory class, so we are starting from the definition. So data structure is the representation of the logical relationship existing between individual elements of the data in the computer. In other words, a data structure is a way of organizing all data items that consider not only the elements stored but also their relationships. Data structure, why the data structure is required? Because data structure is organize the data for adding, modifying and deleting the data easily and efficiently. So program consists of the two parts, one is the algorithm and another is the data structure. So what do you mean by the algorithm? An algorithm is a step-by-step procedure to solve a particular problem. And when you solve the particular problem, it requires some data. So when the data is required, it should be stored into the computer, and when it is stored into the computer, it should be in organized way by which we can easily add, delete and modify the data. So data structure normally categorized into two groups. First one is the primitive data structure, another is the non-primitive data structure. So this is the classification of the data structure. The primitive data structure and non-primitive data structure. Inside the primitive data structure, that is the integer, float, character, pointer. This is the basic data structure. And inside the non-primitive data structure, there is two types. One is linear, another is the non-linear. Inside the linear data structure, array, linked list, stack, queue are present, and non-linear data structure is the graph and tree. So primitive data structure is the basic structure and directly operate upon the machine instruction. So integer, float, character, constraint, pointer, etc. fall in this category. So what is the non-primitive data structure? The primitive data structure is the non-primitive data structure is derived from the primitive data structure, and it is the list, stack, queue, tree, graph. These are all the non-primitive data structure. Now the different operation of the data structure: create, select, update, searching, sorting, merging and delete. So if you are considering a basic, the first, you can say it is the first data structure, that is the array. So how to create the array, how to select an element from the array, how to update the array, how to searching an element from the array, and then how to merge the two array, and finally how to destroy the array. These are the different operations on the data structure. Similarly, in the stack, queue, linked list are the other data structure, and this type of operation will be performed in those data structure. So now the description of various type of data structure. The first one you have already know this, it is an array. So array is a collection of the homogeneous data items that all are the similar data type. So if the array store all the integer numbers, otherwise it is store all of the character numbers or floating point numbers. All the numbers are same data type. Next, how to declare an array. So it is the declaration of the array, and ARR is the name of the array, and it should be declared by the user. So you can change this name. And how to access an array? You can use the index to access the array. So if you are writing ARR of n, that means it will access n minus 1th element. Okay, that means it is the first element, array ARR of 0, that is the first elements of the array, and ARR of 9, that means that it is the last element, because the total size of the array is 10. Next, how to read an array and how to write an array, that means how to print an array by using this code. So these two lines are used for reading an array. So you know how to write a scanf function to read an element from the user side. So someone is given some number that is taken by the computer and stored into your computer by using the scanf function. So if you are writing the scanf function inside the for loop, that means it will be continuously taken the number from the user side. That means here it is starting from 0 to 9, that means 10 number you can enter by the user and then it will be taken and stored into the computer. And when you are print a single line, that is the printf function, that means it will be printed continuously 4 elements of the array, 10 elements of the array. Next, this is the operation of the array, that is similar. The creation of the array, traversing means it is the you are visiting or you are printing all the elements of the array. Insertion of new elements into the array, deletion, that one elements you need to be deleted from the array. The insertion and deletion of the array is difficult because when you want to insert an element in a particular position, all the elements that placed after the first after the inserted element will be shifted right, and if you are deleting an element, then all the elements that present after this will be shifted left. So modification, some element may be modified from this array and merging of this two array. So now it is the stack. So stack is another linear data structure. It is a collection of linear data, and here in this here is the restriction is there. There is the one end only inside your stack. So only one end is allowed for insertion and deletion, but other end is blocked. So always you can insert and delete from the top. Top means at the top element you can able to insert one element, that is the after the top element, and you can delete from the top element of a stack. So it is the structure of LIFO. If it is a stack, that means it is the some first one you are entering here, then second one you can enter here. That means it is the 1, it is the 2. So you can pop the 2 first. So that is the technique of the stack. So this is the diagram of the stack. So there is a 2 operations. One is the push operation and another is the pop operation is this. So push operation means if you want to insert an element into the stack, then it is the push operation. And if you want to delete an element from the stack, then it is the pop operation. Okay, so there is 2 operations up there. Next, what is the difference? How to implement your stack using the array and using the pointer. When you are using the pointer, it is a dynamic implementation, it is the static implementation. Next, it is the queue. It is the another linear data structure that is followed the fast in, fast out data structure. That means if you are inserted the element at the queue, first will be deleted first. That means it is like your this one. So this is the first element, this is the second element. So first element will be deleted first. So queue has 2 pointer, you can say. One is the rear, another is the front. So always you are inserting the elements from the rear and you are deleting the elements from the front. So this is the front and this is the rear. Okay, now an real life example is the railway reservation row are an example of the queue. So each new person come and stand at the end of the row, and person getting their reservation confirm get out the row from the front end. So that is the structure of the queue. So elements one by one, at first 10 is inserted, then 20, then 30, then 40, then 50. So now it is the front and it is the rear, it is the last. If you want to insert another element, suppose 60, then it will be inserted here. And if you want to delete an element, so it will be deleted 10. So when you are deleting, the front is increased by 1, that is the F, and if you are inserting an element, the rear will be increment and rear is shifted here. So this is the queue. So queue is similarly implemented using the using the array as a static implementation, and a pointer using the dynamic implementation. So now it is the list. So list is another linear data structure. It belongs to the non-primitive data structure, and it contains, each element of the list contains two parts. One part is the data part and another part is the link part, that link to the next node. That means it holds the address of the next node. So different type of list are singular list, doubly linked list, singly circular linked list, and doubly circular linked list. There is different type of linked list are there. So now the next data structure, that is a non-linear data structure. It is actually the non-linear data structure because all the elements is stored like that and in a hierarchical fashion. So it is not linear. So tree represents a hierarchical relationships among the data. Next, this is a tree. The first element, that is the A, it is also called the root element. This portion is the left children, that is the right children. Or you can say it is the left subtree and it is the right subtree. Now go to the graph. Graph is a mathematical nonlinear data structure capable of representing various kind of relationships among the data elements. So it is used in the geography, chemistry, engineering science, etc. And the definition of the graph, it consists of a V and E. That means V is the vertices and E is the edges. So this is the example of a graph. So these are the vertices and these are the edges. And it is a weighted graph. That means if edge has a direct weight is there, if edge has a weight, so it is this edge is a weight is the 10, the weight of this edge are the 6, like that, and this edge are directed, so it is a directed weighted graph. Undirected graph, there is no direction. You can go from the V1 to V2 or V2 to V1. V1 and V2 are the vertices. So different type of graphs are there: directed graphs, undirected graphs, simple graphs, weighted graphs, connected graphs, and non-connected graphs. So today I will give a total overview of your data structure, but we are not discussing about the detail of this. So in the next class, I will discuss the detail about each chapter. So now I suggest few reference books. So that is my preferred book is G.S. Baluja, and another book is this one, and you can also follow this book for your reference. নেক্সট, থ্যাংক ইউ। দেখো তো কি হলো অবস্থা। ও